The night Alaska's most prolific serial killer was caught. Some serial killers hide for a year or more before killing again, while others travel, staying ahead of hunters from city to city and state to state. Some kill in a spree to gather victims before local police finally find them. But what if one was hiding amid a violent uptick in crimes and killings in a city covered by statistics and society too? Street violence may have occurred in Anchorage, Alaska, in the summer of 2016. Join us as we investigate James Dale's disturbing case in 2016. At dawn on July 3, 2016, residents around Ship Creek reported hearing gunfire. Later that morning, around 7:45 a.m., a biker on Ship Creek Trail between Post Road and Viking Drive reported their arrival to police. They came across the bodies of a man and a woman. No one else was there. Police identified the bodies as victims: 41-year-old Jason Netter Sr. and 20-year-old Brianna Noyes. They had been shot many times, and the scene resembled an ambush. Police reported that the victims were not relocated from where they were killed, and no cause was immediately disclosed. However, they were shot many times and bullet casings were found at the scene. The Alaska State Crime Laboratory would uncover the tale behind the gunshot pieces found at the site. 2 police personnel in that lab knew both victims. A portion of the town never suffered several legal issues. He had drug and child support violations for a young woman. One of the town's homeless with substance misuse concerns, her adoptive mother, told reporters that the girl had fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, which can cause behavioral issues. The kind woman would defy the rules and seek out situations that would often cause trouble. Even while local police knew them, there was no known relationship or any reason why they would be in the park together that night. Dusk and dawn in Alaska at that time of year meant the murder had to happen in broad daylight. Anchorage's second murder of the year came as violent crime rose due to gang violence and drug trafficking, which had skyrocketed in the year before. Gang clashes were common for years, and Scott Lofthouse, APD's gang intelligence head, had seen enough. These gangsters deal drugs, rob, assault, and shoot individuals. Anchorage has gang activity, although 90% of the time, Lofthouse claims, Anchorage has no gang problem because they don't affect the population. Police found some information that did not link the deaths to a suspect but pointed away from gang-related forensic results from gunshots and pieces found at the scene, confirming their .357 Magnum status. They were fired from a Colt Python revolver, a new gun for street-level crimes like this developed by Colt gunsmiths in 1955 as a match pistol coveted for precision. Collectors and target shooters loved it, and law enforcement officers often used it as a doobie pistol. Before Glock and Beretta created semi-automatics that became popular police sidearms, the Python was a popular choice. It was too heavy for a pocket pistol at 2.5 volts. It simply concealed its presence in this location and used it in the murder of 2 persons who weren't robbery victims. Police were confused by a failed cocaine deal and the killing's motive. There wasn't much proof, not even shell casings in the cylinder. After each shot, the revolver spent hundreds of hours over the ensuing days reviewing all security footage from local cameras, revealing 2 persons of interest. Both individuals were soon ruled out after surveillance cameras released them 2 days later. Young man Traven Thompson was shot and killed while biking home from work. Approximately an hour before dawn, security cameras would pause and show a pedestrian coming. Unfortunately, the camera angle causes someone to ride away on a bicycle. The perpetrator's lower half offered little for identification by police. Police arrived in minutes, but the killer fled. Detectives cordoned off the area. Police and detectives off Dubin Avenue and Boland Street began searching the area for a witness. This time they found one. Lucky 3 girls were looking out a window at a neighboring wooded area when they saw a man in a camouflage jacket minutes before the shooting. A sketch artist was contacted, and they quickly began to suspect who they were dealing with. Why was Traven killed? He wasn't robbed of a bike, and he was gunned down while Traven's father was doing prison time. His son was a good kid and worked a regular job. It would be nearly a month later, on August 28th, 1:42 a.m., an unidentified woman reported to the local police that she found the body of a young man shot and killed on a bicycle route in the valley of the Moon Park in the northwest of the city proper. Police soon arrived at the scene and discovered 2 victims. The second victim was stuffed behind a park pavilion. Kevin Turner, 34, was found dead beneath the pavilion. Bryant DeHusson, age 25, Turner was homeless and diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. He was in and out of therapy and homeless shelters. The other man, Bryant, was residing at one of the city's homeless camps until recently, a famous young environmentalist. His father later told police that he thought Bryant rode his new Schwinn bike to a friend's house that night on the bicycling route through the park. Detectives assumed the perpetrator was hiding the first body when Bryant found them. Forensic teams searched the area for clues after the shooting. Later, local firefighters would hose down at least one park picnic table. Anchorage police chief believed Turner was killed in the following days. Our only weapon was the gun, so 5 people have died, and we only know that all of these deaths were caused by the same weapon. Right after the Valley of the Moon Park case, we knew one of us needed to start contacting city field workers during these times, since the incidents occurred after midnight and in locations where there weren't many people. Therefore, we gave a safety warning that we hope is still in effect. We recommend being cautious when going after dark wherever. James Dale Ritchie, 40, from Anchorage, had a long history, and Ritchie grew up in a promising town that became dysfunctional, Anchorage, and was a gifted athlete and student at Betty Davis East. He was arrested for advocating animal fighting in 1998. Get arrested for drug-related home invasion. Within years, Ritchie went from an outstanding athlete to his character and heart are too much like God. He was too God-fearing, believed in life, cared about others, had a girlfriend, and breakup soured him on staying down there. I assumed Dorisimer is an old acquaintance and previous roommate. He constantly said he missed me and wanted to go home. Where I met him, he looked like this at a 1998 trial with his attorney. His mother would defend him and his activities. I felt like he was a time bomb waiting to be killed or imprisoned for life. He was a good man. Student, he played sports and was always occupied. Innocent, he wouldn't injure someone. Did this make him a killer? However, another old friend told a local interviewer he was more interested in crime drama than murder. Someone just wasn't in him to carry a weapon or strap for demonstration. Most of them weren't clappers in a situation. Had probably couldn't wrap my head around it, and I told Bobby, around him doing this, I can't. We've known him forever. 15 to 20 years since I've seen him. He came home, and something. Whatever transpired. Ritchie was laid out in the street by a hail of bullets after shooting a police officer with a gun would undoubtedly be linked to 5 previous murders. Within 4 days of his death, Anchorage police said they believed James Dale Ritchie was a serial murderer who killed 5 residents. The Anchorage Police Department said Ritchie committed. Anchorage reported all 5 murders and concluded the case. Police ended their investigation into James Dale Ritchie. The November attack on APD officer Arn Salal killed him. Homicide police have reasonable cause to believe Ritchie committed 5 murders. Previously reported revolver homicides in July 2016. What Ritchie had in November was linked to 5 homicides. Murder weapon homicide cops found Ritchie had the 357 Colt Python before any of the killings, and that he soloed. For more interesting topics, make sure you subscribe our YouTube channel and give your feedback right now. Thanks for watching.